Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, baby. Now, it's the weekend. Ain't nothing really popping off. But it's the bad news, you know what I'm saying, for everybody, I think, in the boxing world. All the fights that was getting announced and the ones we're not getting, right? The major one we wasn't getting is the undisputed, Hall of Famer, #1 pound for pound, Terence Crawford against the 3-belt champion, awesome dudes, Errol Spence, which we kind of think would be one of the biggest fights of the decade, right? So we're not getting it immediately, but we're probably going to get it. Let's hope, whatever. There's a whole lot of legacy at stake. Let's just hope that happens. But in the meantime, since we can't get it, it's just all these fights that's in the meantime going off because we can't get undisputed heavyweight either. So in the meantime, right? In the meantime, we know Terence Crawford's going to fight David Avanesyan, right? And, so we complaining. But hey, one thing we got to get clear, Terence Crawford making more money than he even made with the Sean Porter fight, which was, going to be a lot more money than he was going to get for Errol Spence, which is a ludicrous thing to say out loud, isn't it? But he's about to get paid to fight this guy. Now, Avanesyan, he's getting bashed, even though he's in the top 10 in all the sanctioning bodies, but he's getting bashed because he's 29-3 with 17 KOs, right? And I'm just looking at his record, and I'm thinking, well, that's not bad now. And I'm like, he lost about 5 years ago to Lamont Peterson unanimous decision. That's not that bad, if you ask me. You know what I mean? And so he's lost to the Mean Machine as well, right? When the Mean Machine was undefeated. You can lose to the Mean Machine. Stop acting like everybody can't gonna beat the Mean Machine. So the guy is not that bad. Now, my point here is this: when I first heard about this fight, Terence Crawford, David Avanesyan, and I heard the outlash, and the outrage and stuff like that. I'm thinking, well, yeah, we should be disappointed we're not going to get him and Spence, but we weren't going to get it in November anyway. We've been knowing that at least since the middle of September that we wasn't going to get it in November. Anybody that's into fighting and boxing a little bit knows if the fight wasn't signed by early September, then November wasn't going to be wasn't going to be that, not for a big pay-per-view event. So we kind of knew that, but we had the dates came, and then we found out we're not going to get it. But I just thought right away, it's like I'm not that disappointed as I am about Canelo Alvarez not fighting Demetrius Andrade for years. That irks me the most because I didn't hear nobody say, oh, he's not going to fight Andrade for undisputed. He goes and fight Kovalev and bring for very short notice to fight and to force Kovalev to fight him instead of fighting in September. His date against Demetrius Andrade for undisputed and $40 million. That irks me to today because you got Demetrius Andrade over there and people get to call him things. They don't call him everything except somebody's been ducked by Canelo forever, right? They don't call him that. But everything else, right? So that irks me a little bit more. That it's a lot of fights. Like Tyson Fury about to fight Derek Chisora. Do we know that Derek Chisora got 14 losses? What the hell and they about to fight on pay-per-view, and ain't nobody complaining in England. You know something? This is my point of this video. Terence Crawford and David Avanesyan should fight in England, and then it'll be all right. I ain't saying it'll be a blockbuster in England, but it'll be all right. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, David Avanesyan's last 3 fights were in England, in Wembley Stadium. So they're familiar with the boy, right? They're familiar with him. And I'm talking about he fought... I know one of the guys was called Liam. He fought a Josh Kelly, you know what I'm saying, who was undefeated. Beat him. That's an English name for your Josh. You got a Josh in there? And, Josh Kelly, that's the English name. Then they got a Lime Taylor. Lime Taylor was 23-1. He beat him over there. So, and then, what is it? I'm looking at this other guy, Oscar Mertz. And he was also undefeated. So he took 2 O's in England just recently in Wembley Stadium. They should go right over to England. And before that, he was in Spain. And he beat an undefeated guy in Spain, what's his name? Larioga or something like that. Right? Beat him when he was undefeated, 20 fights. And then, then they fought again. I guess they kept him in Spain. You're like, okay, you beat him, you got lucky. Beat him again, TKO. Then while he was leaving, he said, well, I might as well stay in Spain on my way out before I leave, before I say adios. I beat another guy called Jose Del Rio. Right? Then I'll say adios, and then he went to England. So his last 6 fights have been in Europe. Why not take this fight over to Europe with somebody give a damn? Right? Because Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora, right, even though he's got 14 losses, should not be nowhere near pay-per-view. They've sold 50,000 tickets within, what, the first 2 or 3 days? 50,000 tickets for that fight. Man, come on. You go over there and tell them, Terence Crawford's the best fighter in the world versus somebody who's been over here raising hell lately, beating up Joshes and Liams right in front of us in Wembley Stadium on people's undercards. Yeah, you good. Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So we see all this other stuff. There ain't no reason to be tripping about him not fighting Spence, Terence Crawford not fighting Spence right now. I guess they'll get around to it, and you can get into this stuff about, whose fault it is or whatever. But you know something? Hey, most of the people don't understand what it is to be a boxer. That's why I know people like Terence Crawford, he listens, but I'm pretty sure these people that tell him just be immune, right? Because he's not being appreciated. But I know he's respected amongst his peers. I know when he goes to places like the Hall of Fame, where everybody was a few weeks, he's getting his props, his respect from people that understand what's happening with a boxer and in the boxer's life. Most people on here talking smack ain't got to make weight for nothing. They're going to do this video and go eat a damn donut. You see what I'm saying? So from that standpoint, Terence Crawford is respected amongst people that he's supposed to be respected amongst. So why can't he fight a David Avanesyan and Tyson Fury going to fight Derek Chisora? Avanesyan's got to be as good as Chisora, or not better. He got 3 losses. You see what I'm saying? So we'll get to the Errol Spence fight, but I think Terence Crawford versus David Avanesyan needs to go to England. Then it'll be more successful. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm about here, y'all.